And in Anambra State, well, congratulations to them as they emerged as the best performing state in Nigeria's 2025 fiscal performance ranking. That's according to BudgIT's State of the States report. They are first now, securing the title, and then they come even before Lagos State, which has maintained its place as the second for the second consecutive year. And as expected, they are ready to blow their trumpet. Look at some of their fiscal data on their fiscal performance, especially for 2024 and then 2025. For this year, actually, 2025, they have an approved budget, which they have tagged Changing Gears 2.0 at 607 billion. They allocate 77% of that to capital expenditure, 23% to recurrent. And their debt stock has also recorded a decline when you compare it to what they had last year. So from 34.43 billion in the first quarter of 2024 to 28.2 billion in the first quarter of 2025. The state accounted for 14.71% of the total debt of the least indebted states. It's been categorized in that group, and 0.73% of total subnational debt in the first quarter of this year. So of course you can expect that there'll be a lot of blowing of trumpets, their trumpets at this time. We have the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning from Anambra State, Ms. Chiamaka Nake, joins us from our Abuja studio. I guess I should start by saying congratulations to you. This is a lot of bragging rights you've earned from Anambra State.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, congratulations. But tell us, what are some of the high points that you can boast of that has given you this title, which has been observed by BudgIT?
Okay. Thank you so much. The 5 criteria that BudgIT used, the 5 criteria for the measurement, I think first was the revenue, looking at how the revenue, IGR growth from year on year. So Anambra State had consistently recorded some improvement in its IGR. And of course, that's one of the things that were considered. And also how much of our IGR operating costs an IGR cover, which also shows some significant improvement. And I think also the third criteria, the third one is how much of our capital expenditure, how much of our expenditure is capital, while the other is recurrent. How much of capital investments do we make? Our fiscal debt sustainability, and then how much of our total revenue cover up our total recurrent expenditure. So that kind of shows, I think what we say across, based on this 5 criteria, is just trying to project Anambra State's efficiency, prudence in financial management. It kind of shows how Anambra State, under the leadership of Professor Charles Kuma Soludo, has actually kind of consistently improved financial management in Anambra State. Particularly is prudence is the word. And you can also note that this is not a one-off. From last year we came third, and this is more like a consistent improvement. So I think it's around the total improvements across the board, starting from the revenue generation, and also the spend, which is also the efficiency and how we spend. So it's also, I think across the board, it kind of speaks to government, the Anambra State government's innovative way of improving revenue generation, and also the efficiency and prudence in spending. That's what we see across the board. And that's what BudgIT report kind of brought to fore. But just to say that this is what Anambra State government has been doing intentionally. It's not just a fluke. It's a consistent and intentional investment and improvement in the system, more like an institutional reform that has brought this, and we're excited this improvement, and we're excited for it.
Yeah, well, again, I say congratulations. Of course, you've earned that bragging rights right there. But let's look at the implementation of your budget. So, obviously, one of your big points there is having 77% of your budget on capital expenditure. But having it on paper is one thing. Can you convince us by Saturday, we're in the month of November. So, basically, most of what you should be doing this year should have been done or mostly done. 77% of your capital expenditure, has it really been spent? 77% of your budget, has it really been spent on capital expenditure?
So, yes, we are quite intentional on when we budget, we are usually quite intentional. Even check the 2025 budget, 78% of our capital expenditure of our total expenditure is capital. So it's something we're intentional because we are trying to invest in things that give real value to Anambra citizens. So this is also what is consistent. If you check the 2024 report, the actual spend is actually 77% of the budget. So meaning that, yes, it actually translates to real impact. We have we've made significant investment in infrastructure. I think that anyone in Anambra State can see that because we know that builds the sustainability, ensures sustainability of the state. So investment in social sector is also there. So we have infrastructure investment and investment in real sectors such as the social sector, the health, the education, and also the human capital improvement. So we have we invest across our pillars, but the thing we do, something we're deliberate about, is that we invest in things that produce real impact for the people. So yes, we have consistently retained recurrent expenditure less than 30%. Yes, we understand it's important, but we have consistently retained it at less than 30%, while bulk of our budget and actual spend is towards things that produce real impact in the economy. So, and the people of Anambra can see to that. So yes, we have invested, infrastructure investment, economic and infrastructure investment is one of the priorities of the government, and of course, there has been significant improvement in that particular sector. Around social sector, human capital and social agenda is another pillar where the education, the health, and our empowerment programs domicile. And also there has been marked improvement in that particular sector. Governance and value system, and then environment. Security, of course, is number one. So these are across this spectrum, 5 pillars. Anambra State government has been consistent and also been quite intentional about making investment in areas that improve the livelihood of Anambra.
The Anambra there. So also, I think one area that you scored big points is your debt sustainability, and we see that for the first quarter of this year, you recorded 28.2 billion in debt, but this is a decrease from what you had at this time last year, which obviously has given you another point. So sometimes when we do hear the numbers of debt decrease, we ask the question, where is the government sourcing funds from? Does this mean, has this resulted to higher taxes from back home for internally generated revenue? Because, of course, we saw that your internally generated revenue, too, has increased from last year up onto this year. So we see a total approved revenue of approximately 279.76 billion. That's what you had. But the state generated even more than that. Comparison from 2018 to 2024, you went from 26 billion to 42 billion. Has this resulted in higher taxes on the Anambra people, in the Anambra, as you said?
Okay, thank you. So the investment, the reported improvement in the revenue has been quite there has been some transformation in our revenue service, and of course the improvement is testament to what has been done. We are not there yet, we have a significant expectation of our revenue service considering the size of the economy. So, but yes, the improvement, we have consistently recorded an improvement year on year. I think we have even compared to when we came in, we have almost doubled the revenue that we have. The IGR, yes, tax is the major is one of the components that have consistently improved. We're expanding the tax bracket. We are also improving collection. We are improving assessment. I think technology, also bringing technology and innovation into the system. Like I said, it's not we're not there yet, but I can say that some investments that have been made, at least we've started to see the result. And we expect that to continue in the next few years. Of course, I think that's where we are right now.
Another question which states have hanging over their head at this time is the subsidy money, subsidy savings. I don't know if you saw that the president had said that, well, of course, with increase in FAC, states have also been given more allocations because of the removal of subsidy. And questions are, we cannot say for Anambra State because we saw a lot of states where borrowing has increased in spite of this increased FAC. But I guess for Anambra State, people ask, what difference has this increase in FAC made in the life of the people of Anambra and the runnings of the state?
Yes, there has been a nominal increase in FAC allocation. I think evidently seen, of course, upon removal of subsidy. So there has been some improvement in allocation to the state. But another point to consider is value for money, right? So a lot has also happened in the cost. That we might also say, could this be a money illusion? Yes, we have more money. Well, what can we buy with the money? So, but yes, to answer your question, yes, there has been improvement. And of course, the way Anambra State have utilized resources also shows from the 75% allocation to capital projects. And that has remained the government priority, investing in making investments in areas that directly impacts the people of Anambra, and also something that areas that also improves the livelihood of everyone in the Anambra. So yes, there has been nominal increase, but there could be a conversation around the money illusion. That's the value for money. So maybe if we go to the details of it, we might actually see if there's actual increase based on what we can invest in. But I can say that, yes, even at that, Anambra State has been quite deliberate and also efficient in its utilization and investing in real sector and real areas that impact the lives of Anambra.
And then one of the things that Governor Soludo has been very proud of is the Monday issue. The insecurity and the fact that a lot of businesses couldn't operate on Mondays. I know I listened to one of his campaigns since your election is close by, and that was a major point for him. And I mean, with all credits, because of course the state and the country used to lose a whole lot if for a whole day economic activities were shut down or mostly shut down. Could you tell us perhaps one of those benefits of having that Monday and the plan of sustenance, especially because you have a large population of informal businesses in the state?
Yes, this is not very clear. But yes, I heard you. Just to hear you well, you're asking the Monday sit at home, how has it impacted the state, and also the current improvement in activities, how that have also impacted the Anambra State.
Correct.
Is that your question?
Correct.
Because
yes. Correct. Yes. Correct.
Okay. Yes, I think currently the subsisting sit at home, I think I'll say at this period or this time, there has been marked improvement. People get about their activities on Monday, although there are still locations or still areas that could record very slow activities. But I can say major part of Anambra State, the major cities where the major economic activities are rampant, or the major cities in Anambra State, people go about their activities. And we can say, yes, Monday, by the time when we came in, was almost like a dead zone when people come out. But right now, we can say there is an improved, though gradual, but improved activities on Monday, which of course is returning the state to what it should be, because we are mostly a commercial city. So imagine when we have to take out a Monday, which is an important day of the week. So the activities are returning, especially in the major economic cities. And we say that, of course, we expect that to continue in the near, because the security, there has been a marked improvement in security in the state. And I think that is the confidence that the state, the people of Anambra are showing, and that's why they're returning back to their business.
All right, so your fiscal performance shows that for last year you were number 3, I believe, and now you're number 1. What's next?
We'll retain the position. That's where we want to retain the position. And of course, yes, we were number 3. Of course, we always want to retain the position. So we'll continue to work on it. Like I said, it's an intentional thing. So it's how we plan and how we execute intentionally for the benefit of Anambra. I think the good thing is that it's showing, right? The world is noticing, the nation is noticing. And of course, because it's something we do intentionally, so we think that we hope, or we work towards sustaining the number 1 position in Nigeria. And not just, of course, even in transparency, because this is just the performance, but also that we'll continue to tell Nigeria and what we're doing. So we're going to retain it. We'll continue to work towards that. And I think the most part of it is that the lives of anybody in Anambra State continues to improve. It's been a lot better. It's been a marked improvement in Anambra State. I think Anambra State has never seen this unprecedented development in its history, and of course is to be sustained, and we are expected to move it way higher, especially come second term.
All right, I know other states are listening. A state like Lagos, we feel challenged, being the commercial capital of Nigeria. But thank you so much, and once again, congratulations to Anambra State. Chiamaka Nake, the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning in Anambra State.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll go global. Please stay with us.